And for a European perspective on Merkel's visit to China, we're joined on the phone by Mr. Bernt Berger, who's a senior researcher with the China and Global Security Program at the Stockholm International Peace and Research Institute. He also serves as a government advisor on China relations with Berlin. Thanks for joining us here at CCTV News, Mr. Berger. What's going to be the main focus of Merkel's China visit as you're reading it? And considering the gloomy international economic situation, how can closer ties between China and Germany benefit the two countries?
Well, Chinese-German relations have grown strong in recent years, and both are exporting economies and have a strong common interest to discuss issues of global economy because they have markets to sustain. Both countries show interest in international affairs, and that will obviously be on the agenda. And in the case of Iran, especially Germany and China, I think, could be important dialogue partners. Before China, Germany was Iran's biggest trading partner, and both share an understanding of the country. Neither has an interest in a nuclear arms race in West Asia. So during the meeting, both sides have a chance to discuss these issues, among others.
And despite the great uncertainty and the lingering European debt crisis, China-German trade has maintained strong momentum instead of contracting. So what are the main opportunities for further cooperation between the two? And one of the points, of course, that everybody's been wondering, how can China help the Eurozone cope with its debt crisis?
Well, there's a lot of talk about how this could happen. Of course, as you mentioned, Germany and China are very strong economic partners, and Germany is China's strongest partner inside the European Union. But also the EU and China have strong ties, for example, in scientific cooperation. Both sides have a common interest in developing new technologies, especially green technologies. So the visit is a chance to explain the situation in Europe, in China, and get in common understanding. Both sides, of course, also have to handle perceptions inside their countries. For example, China will not have to bail out Europe, but a stable Europe is an interest of China's economy. Chinese investments in Europe are, of course, important also to stabilize the region, and there is no window of opportunity to establish Chinese companies as welcome partners.
All right, many thanks indeed, Mr. Berger, and we appreciate your analysis. Mr. Bernt Berger speaking to us from Berlin.